Okay, so I'm going to show you right now is how to get a toposurface object into Revit architecture from Google Earth. So what you have to do first is open up Google Sketchup. So here I am in Google Sketchup and it's an empty file. So you go over to File, down to Geolocation, and Add Location. Okay, so in here you can key in whatever you want. I wanted to look at Mount Fuji, so I keyed in Mount Fuji, said search. Here it is. Okay, so zoom out until you see the area that you like, and then click on Select Region, and you can adjust the size of what you're picking. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna move that. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to say grab. It pops it into my SketchUp file, which was empty. I'm going to click on it and the outline is red, so if you right click on it and say unlock, now it's blue. And while it's selected, I just go up to this tool here called Toggle Terrain, because it's just a flat pancake right now. So Toggle Terrain, and there's a beautiful terrain image. It's actually just a photo here in SketchUp. Okay, so with this, I'm going to save this file as a 3D DWG file. So go up to File, down to Export, and over to 3D Model. And in there, I'm going to make it a DWG, so make sure that the file extension is DWG. And then you can just name it. So I'm going to name this one Mount Fuji and save it. I'll just pop it on my desktop and then hit let's look at the okay, so that's okay. It's going to save it in an AutoCAD version 2007, so that's good. Now I'm going to hit export. Okay, it's made a DWG file, so I'm going to shrink that and open up my Revit file, and I have an empty metric file just sitting here waiting for it. So I go to the Insert tab and Import CAD. Right. Make sure you're looking for a DWG because you might have it set to something else there. So DWG, and I put it on the desktop, and there it is, Mount Fuji. I'm just going to let it come in with all the default settings here. So I'm just going to say open. It's going to think about it for a bit, depending on how big a window you selected. Okay, just zoom out. I just keyed in ZE. It's easy that way. And so this is a top view of my terrain. I'm just going to go to a default view. And what it does is it comes in with your terrain image, but also this flat image. And I want to delete that. I don't need that layer. So what I have to do is select it, right click, and I can do a partial explode. And that way I can select that flat plane and just hit delete. Okay, so now I've just got the terrain surface that I wanted, but it's not, it's still a DWG if you look over in your properties. So we want to turn it into a Revit object. So what you do now is you go up to the Massing and Site tab, pick the toposurface tool, pick Create from Import, and select Import Instance, and click on your shape. And I'm just going to let it use all the layers that came with it. So I'm going to say OK. And it creates it. It just gives me a little error here. I'm just going to ignore that. It looks funny because it's all the points, the different elevation points. So you just have to say Finish Surface. And now you've got a really detailed topo surface. I'm just going to see if it's any different. So I'm going to look at that with shaded on and see what it does. So there is your all the ground you need for starting to place your building. And that is it.